It's time for a spiritual tune-up, and the question being posed to me yesterday, please post your questions below, either on Instagram or Facebook, is what if our higher self wants something different for us than our street level self? I mean, what if you're like, I want a new car, I want a new house, I want a new partner, I want pain-free living, but your higher self in all its wisdom knows what's best for you and is arranging things accordingly. Or replace higher self with God. What does God most want for you in this lifetime? The whole thing is based on a false premise that that we are here kind of as forerunners, being readied through tests for salvation. It also implies judgment. Here's an analogy I used in my book, The Top 10 Things Dead People Want to Tell You. Let's say right now you're planning a really exotic trip once coronavirus is gone, okay? You're going to have friends, you're going to have abundance, you're going to have creative, fulfilling work. And one of the little perks and rewards you're going to give to yourself is a trip to Africa, okay? To a game park, and you're going to do a photographic safari of the animals, the wildebeest, the lions, tigers, and bears. And you bone up on your Swahili. You take some camping classes. You study what you're going to be seeing and when. You communicate with your guides out in advance. Let's say it's a year away. This big adventure for you in the Masai Mara or Kruger National Park or wherever. When you get there and you're creeping along, and all of a sudden there's a fork in the road, dusty path this way, dusty path that way. Do you want hyenas? Do you want cheetahs? Where do they lie? What do your instincts tell you? Would you stop and say, now what would Mike Dooley a year ago, who was planning this trip, decide to do now? It's like, what? Mike Dooley a year ago wanted to be you there now so that you there now could decide. You'd be fresh. You'd be, in the throes of passion and activity, deciding based on changing circumstances on the fly in a co-created world. Mike Dooley a year ago has no clue based on what you now know. And it's exactly the same in these sacred jungles of time and space. You planned meticulously. Eons ago, time's an illusion, but you did plan so that you could set the stage for this most amazing adventure where you would be toughened up, where you would be knocked down, where you would stand up. You would see these probabilities. Nothing is destined. And you readied yourself so that you could take the blows and climb to the top of Kilimanjaro. Okay, it's not about what would the old Mike Dooley want. You are that Mike Dooley. You are that fill in your name blank here. You're not some little microscopic speck of your former divine self. You're a full-on gladiator. You've got more awareness of every present moment right now, including a desire for chocolate cake, including a desire to go back to school and get a degree, including a desire to make $1 million or to live pain-free. You're in the throes, all of you, full glory. And you decide now. Your higher self is on the sidelines going, go, me, go. Go, me, go. Look it, there I am. My thoughts are becoming things. I have literally the power to move mountains. You do. Move those mountains. And so now, God, your higher self, friends from other lifetimes are cheering you because you're here in your full glory. You're not some speck. And so importantly, you're not here to be tested. There are 0 tests in these sacred, hallowed jungles of time and space. 0. A test would ruin everything, not just because they're not fun, but your thoughts become things. That's it. That's the absolute that unveils each precious moment and that decides the path of every single day. If there was test, you'd be like, well, I'm moving towards wealth and abundance, friends and laughter. I'm taking my baby steps. My thoughts become things, right? Nope, nope. This is test year. This is test year, and you have to be toughened up. Now, you saw the playground in advance. You knew what the probabilities were. You knew that you'd be short-sighted here and strong-sighted there. And so you would have anticipated taking some blows, and you might anticipate some lions and tigers and bears, but those aren't tests. Tests imply that God or someone else or your higher self is deciding, and there's these booby traps on the path. There are zero. Are there lessons to learn? Oh man, that's one of the coolest things about being here. Lessons to learn. Lessons you didn't even know you needed to learn, that you wanted to learn until they showed up. But when they showed up, they psych us out. We think, oh, something must be wrong with me. It's like, whenever adversity shows up, it's an invitation for being better than you even knew to ask for before. So there's zero tests while there is lots of learning. And there's no God or higher self in conflict with you and what you decide to do with the rest of your amazing life. Let it be easy. It is easy. You are here in your full glory. To rock and roll, you already have dominion over all things. So what point would it serve for God or your higher self to say, go left, go left, go left, be selfless, be selfless? It's like, no, they're loving you. They're loving watching you. And you're going to have a roaring laugh when this whole thing is done, and you're going to want to come back. Not that it really ever is done, okay? And you can enlighten and levitate right on out of here, ascend out of here, and then come back, or don't, or go somewhere else. But it's all here for you. You are loved and adored. Your thoughts become things. And given the inclination we all have to thrive, as I've outlined before in these spiritual tune-ups, you're golden. You are so golden. And until tomorrow, all the best. Tally ho. Lots of love.